Center thrust into the global spotlight. The days following the April 11th officer-involved shooting death of Daunte Wright created circumstances unlike any the city has ever seen. City officials say there were as many as 12,000 protesters during the immediate aftermath. That's 1/3 of the city's population. The civil unrest crisis came at a cost. This week, the city took a closer look at exactly what those costs were. According to city documents, the city needed a total of $322,000 to pay for a range of services to help manage the unrest. The city paid nonprofits that specialized in de-escalation as well as a security firm to help apartment tenants near the Brooklyn Center police station after the units were burglarized. The city also needed communications help to manage press conferences and public alerts. These costs are still ongoing as the case against the former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter, who is charged in the Daunte Wright's death, is just getting started. On top of those costs, the city is also trying to figure out a permanent solution for the Daunte Wright Memorial site located on a small neighborhood street not accustomed to heavy traffic.
We do assess it for safety. We have received some complaints and some calls about the memorial, but we first want to make sure that we simply left it alone if it did not create a safety hazard. And in our assessment, it has not created a safety hazard.
As for how to pay for the civil unrest response, Brooklyn Center officials say they are currently meeting with county, state, and federal officials to help secure funding to recoup some of the city's costs. After a difficult year, a Plymouth senior living community is slowly getting back to normal while also honoring its healthcare heroes. Trillium Woods is celebrating National Health Center Week with a variety of activities. Tuesday, residents and staff members spent the afternoon planting flowers for the community patios on the Plymouth campus. An event like this one couldn't have taken place a year ago, but with 99% of the residents vaccinated from COVID-19, they are taking advantage of the opportunity to bring people together in person.
Interaction and engagement in any atmosphere is necessary, but in senior living, where people are living in a place that's not the home they grew up in, having people get out, engage, be with their friends, have a meal together, come out and do an activity like this, it's exactly why all of us went into working in long-term care, to serve our residents. So it's great to be back outside together.
This month, Trillium Woods has also put up a special display honoring all of the healthcare workers in their building. The display has photos, bios, and special notes recognizing their hard work over the past year. A Perpich Arts High School student was recognized as a national gold medalist in one of the nation's most prestigious art awards. In today's standout student, Pafua Yang introduces us to 12th grader Haley Peterson.
And I just want to make a connection with people and be like, I can go through this, you can go through this, other people are going through this.
Art is often used to express emotions.
Haley was interested in telling all kinds of stories, things that are about fear or despair, different emotions she's really tapped into.
12th grader Haley Peterson does exactly that and more.
I love creating stories and making stories and showing the stories, like besides with words and more with facial reactions or camera angles.
The Perpich high schooler tells stories through comics, but these stories go deeper.
Things that I've experienced, things that I've noticed through other people.
Much deeper. Haley's stories cover topics like depression, suicide, and isolation.
Haley can take those emotions, the ability to express and feel those things in ways that maybe aren't visible to the outside, but tell those internal dialogues.
Art instructors are blown away by Haley's work. Teachers say Haley is receptive to assignments, but ultimately adds a unique artistic vision.
Often she wants to get at really raw things and complex emotions that can be kind of upsetting, but are also very human. And she's a very gifted storyteller.
The raw emotions seen in these works were felt beyond the borders of Perpich, so much so that Haley received the highest honor at the National Scholastic Art and Writing Award.
It was super exciting. I was a little stunned. I didn't really know how to react. I was just smiling, thank you.
Haley's gold medal portfolio got her a $10,000 scholarship. In the art category, Haley was one of 8 selected from among the thousands of works submitted.
I want to become a storyboard artist for Pixar or DreamWorks because I love to tell my stories.
The future storyboard artist plans to spend the next 4 years at Ringling College in Florida, where Haley's storytelling is bound to make a difference.
Just to know that mental health, it's a normal thing to have. have problems.
In Golden Valley, Pafuyang, CCX News.
U.S. News and World Report is out with its best high school rankings. And while rankings aren't everything, it does allow some schools to put an extra feather in their cap. Several schools in the CCX News viewing area were ranked in the top 50 statewide. Parnassus Prep, a K-12 charter school in Maple Grove, ranked number 4 in Minnesota. Wayzata High School came in at number 6. Rogers High School at number 29. Hopkins and Maple Grove also made the top 50, ranking at number 37 and 38 respectively. The top Minnesota high school, according to the rankings, is Math and Science Academy, located in Woodbury. A volunteer organization with deep roots in the community will be hosting a special fundraiser on Saturday.
On Saturday, we're going to have an outdoor marketplace that people can come. We've got vendors from different kinds of things like Norwex. We've got some bakers that do specialty goods, crafters. We've got some potters.
The event will be in the parking lot of Interfaith Outreach, and it's hosted by the Wetumpka Club, which is a women's service organization that's been around since the 1930s, and they are still helping out the community.
To give scholarships to high school students that are going into the medical field. We also donate money to Crisis Nursery, to safe houses in the area, and Interfaith Outreach.
Here's what you need to know before you go. If you want to find out more information, you can check out the Wetumpka Club's Facebook page.
On a close vote, a representative assembly of the Minnesota State High School League voted not to add boys volleyball as a sanctioned high school sport. We caught up with one local club team for reaction. Disappointed is probably the most heard word among players for the Wayzata boys volleyball team upon hearing that a vote to add boys volleyball as an official sanctioned state high school league sport was narrowly defeated. They're part of a 41-team Minnesota Boys High School Volleyball Association that is currently operating as a club sport.
My thoughts are, I'm really sad about that because I'm the team captain here, and I've been playing for like 4 years now, so I played 2 years ago when we had it. I was really hoping to get it this year, but I hope we can get it next year.
It was a little sad, you know. I was sitting in class, and all of a sudden my teacher read off the news, and I was talking to him for like a few minutes about it, and it was just something sad, you know. I don't really get it. I mean, maybe they just don't have the facilities for it, but you know, maybe one day.
It's a lot of volunteer work going on right now, so it stinks that the school system isn't quite ready to support it as a sport.
Getting to feel a part of their school community is one thing these players are hoping for in the future.
If we could have like our high school allow us to practice there instead of having to come here, because we have to wait until like 7 or 6 o'clock at night to start our practices instead of having it after school like everybody else.
Volleyball is growing for boys, and there is a mixture of beginners and relative veteran players in the Spring High School League.
Even before I got involved with the program, Wayzata was kind of being self-run by the players who were just really interested in learning the sport, so it was just cool to step into a program where the desire to learn is there.
The Wayzata guys are confident that boys volleyball will be sanctioned by the MSHSL in the future. For now, they'll enjoy the current setup. The league did vote to add a state tournament for girls wrestling, which will be part of the current tournament setup. The Maple Grove girls lacrosse team has been a regular visitor to the state tournament in recent seasons. The Crimson faced another top Northwest Suburban Conference contender when they took on Centennial. Maple Grove hosts Centennial in a battle for first in Northwest Suburban girls lacrosse. Ella Olson scoops the ground ball and scores for Maple Grove as they tie it up 1-1. Tied at 4 when Maddie Bast scores from the free position as she's knocked down. A painful one, but the Crimson take a 5-4 lead. Goalie Bridget Getch helps it stay that way as she denies Alyssa Levine in close with a big stop for Maple Grove. Danielle Key on the move puts the shot away as Maple Grove's lead grows to 2 goals at 6-4. Becky Getch scores from the free position for the Crimson for a 7-4 lead. They lead it 8-4 at halftime of this one. Second half, and Courtney Leasing gets to the front of the net to tuck it away, and Maple Grove goes up 9-5. Bast adds another as Maple Grove wins 11-6. They're tied for the conference lead with Champlain Park at 6-0. After playing at Totino-Grace Wednesday, Maple Grove hosts Armstrong on Friday. Well, two local girls lacrosse teams that haven't had as much success were evenly matched as they went head-to-head. That led to a thriller. Jason Melillo has their highlights.
Girls lacrosse, Osseo-Park Center hosting Totino-Grace. First half, OPC's Riley Haug a nice run to the goal, and she scores to make it 3-all. Then Sonia Coombs slips the defenders and scores, putting OPC up by 1. But the Eagles take control in the second half. Nice rush and goal by Kiara Laney, and TG is up 8-5. OPC rallies. Lauren Rainerson scores from the free position, cutting the lead to 8-7. Then a really nice pass by Haug out of the free position to Rainerson, and she scores again to make it 8-all, and we go to overtime. In OT, Coombs to Rainerson, and the 8th grader nets the game-winning marker as the Crocs get their first win of the season. Jason Melillo, CCX Sports.
That's all for sports. I'm Jay Wilcox.